What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kilo Loco, and we're going to be continuing to work on that social media chat. I overslept. I was supposed to start this stream like an hour and a half ago, and yeah. Oh well, that's one way to start the week. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this. Hope everybody's having a good Monday so far. If I had to categorize this Monday, it's not starting off so good. But we can turn that around, right? We can turn it around. All right. So, let's go ahead and get up and running. First, we need to open up the correct project because this isn't even it. And this is the one. All right. So last time, what did we cover? We got through the social media feed, or not the social media feed. That's what we're working on today. But last time we got through the edit profile changes, right? And now what we need to do is we need to make it so that we can actually display the social media feed. So we have to be able to toggle between profile and the feed, and then also we need to be able to start like adding to the feed. So there's a lot to do. Here we go. And seems to be a little bit choppy. So even though I am not learning Flutter, I'm here to like and support. Appreciate that. What are you learning? Like, what is it that you are learning? Curious to find out. All right, so let's see. Well, first I want to get this thing running on the simulator. Did that work? There we go. Native Android? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm about to be doing some more Android content in a bit. I just have to finish this challenge. Like, this challenge has been dragging on for over a month, 2 months now. And I'm trying to finish it up, but there's like so much stuff that goes into building out something like this, and I just was not prepared, you know? So, yeah. Let's see. Also, I hope I'm not on Wi-Fi. Let me check my network preferences. Are you using Jetpack Compose yet? Have you used it yet? Let me see. I'm gonna turn off Wi-Fi and see if that breaks the stream or not. Yeah, you're trying. You're trying it out. I really like Jetpack Compose. Much better than, using whatever there was before, XML and stuff like that. Not really sure why my thing is all choppy though. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think it's because it's like trying to put out 60 frames a second and it's like getting all weird. We'll see how it goes. I think if it continues to get too choppy, then I might just, you know what? I'm gonna stop the stream right here and then I'll be right back. So whatever you're watching on, just be on the lookout for another relaunch. I think. Oh no, it seems to clear up right there. All right, well, let me know if the stream gets too choppy, and then if it does, then I'll just go ahead and restart it at 30 frames per second. I think I was messing with the settings and now it's putting out 60 frames per second and it's causing my computer to blow up. it could have been that I was just like launching all kinds of stuff, because that does happen too. Okay, the video's better now. All right, so let's go ahead and start adding in the social media feed, and we can do that by creating a new folder, and this will be just called feed, I guess. And how do we want to do this? We need to have a feed, and then we also need to have a session navigator, which we already have. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And we have the session navigator. And now what we need to do is we need to... Is this even what we wanted? Let me think. We should have had like a tab view. Hey, Flo. Welcome, welcome. How's your Monday going? Let's see. So how do we have a tab? Actually, I don't know if I've done that in Flutter yet. So let's go ahead and look up how we do this. And maybe tab bar. Is it a tab bar? Work with tabs. I want to see this first, because tabs mean a lot of different things in a lot of different languages. Yeah, see, this is not what I want. Okay, so what we want is like a bottom tab bar. Sometimes bottom navigation bar is what it's referred to, I see. Okay. I was late to this stream, and I don't know why I didn't make coffee while I was already late. I missed my coffee. All right, bottom navigation bar. Okay, got it. All good on your end. Have a lot of work to do for university, so nothing special. Okay. Are you going to, are you at the university for CS? Getting a CS degree? Let's see. This is our session navigator, but I feel like this isn't actually what we want. What benefit is this serving right here? I don't actually know. See, you're doing CS Games Engineering Master right now. Ooh. Now that sounds fancy. That's cool. How many years do you have left? Let's see. I kind of feel like this should not be a regular navigator. I don't see the benefit here. I do not see the benefit here. Okay, let's try this. Let's go ahead and just let's pretend that the session navigator is going to be this bottom navigation bar. And okay, now we need items, right? And current index is going to be 0. This will be set when a new tab is tapped. Then why does it need to be 0? That doesn't seem to make sense. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Current index. Yep. So what's on tab tapped? What does that mean? On tab. Okay, that's yikes. That's a little bit of a bummer. Okay. So, you know what? Instead of messing with all this, I'm just gonna create a whole new thing that I could just do whatever I want with. I suppose it sounds fancier than it is. It's very similar to regular CS, just with a few physics and rendering graphics courses instead of the hardware stuff. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I guess like if you're gonna be doing, game engineering, right? Then you probably don't need to deal with so much hardware and probably a lot more on graphics, right? It makes sense. I'm currently in the third master semester with a target of 5 semesters in total. Oh, okay, you're almost done. More than halfway. Good on you. Did you have to work, or did you have to you know, go to online classes during the pandemic? My sister's also at a university right now. She's been doing online classes since last year. Let's go ahead and create a bottom navigation. No, not a folder. A file. Bottom navigation. Session navigation bar. All right, here we go. Here we go. Extends a stateless widget, right? Because we're gonna try to block it up in here. All right, build. Okay, so then let's go ahead and we'll create a qubit, a session navigation bar qubit. Sounds about right. Session navigation bar qubit. A little bit longer than I would like it, but hey, what can you do? Session navigation bar qubit extends qubit, takes in a, let's just say dynamic for right now, session navigation bar qubit like this. And what are we going to do? We're going to do super and pass in null for right now, just so that we can get no red squigglies. Pretty much like your sister, finished my bachelor thesis almost exactly a year ago and have not stepped a foot into university since then. Yeah, that's like super weird. So like on my I think it's like been like a really different experience lately where like on my team I've actually never met anybody that I work with in person, which is like super weird. So I'm guessing like that must have been like a real different experience, like having already gone through school and then now, you're like doing everything online. And I'm kind of curious, like, what has your learning experience been like? Like, are you feeling like it's like the same amount of things that you would have learned, or is it like less? Like overall, like, what is your experience with like online? I guess because I feel like when you get up there and you're like working on your masters and things like that, then you know the true benefit comes out of like having just like a super small class where it's like less than 10 people or something like that. I mean, maybe in your field it's a little bit more, but I feel like that's where the real benefit comes in, because then the person that's teaching you for your masters, or like, yeah, your professor, like, being able to chat with them in person is like a big deal. So I was just kind of curious, like, what you thought about that. Alexander, What's up? What's up, Alexander? It's looking real sexy, bro. Like this code isn't even sexy right now. I mean, we gonna make it sexy, but it ain't that sexy just yet. What's going on, Javier? This is J Melody from Discord. Oh yeah, yes. What's up, J Melody? I love your server and the community you're building. Is there anything I can do to help you grow it? I mean, I don't know. This is the first time that I ever had a Discord. So if y'all wanna join, feel free. I'll plug the Discord here. I'm doing my best to like make sure that it's like a true hangout space for everybody, and like what I've noticed is there's an awesome community for web development, right? You can go to websites, like you could go on Reddit, you can go on dev.to, you can go to all kinds of different websites. And if you're a web developer, there's a huge community there to support you, and all kinds of places where you can ask questions and things like that. But when it comes to mobile, like not so much. So I was like, you know what? Like I want a place where we can hang out, where we could get to know each other, where we could talk about things, ask questions, things like that. And yeah, like that's why I made the Discord. So if y'all have any recommendations on how I can make the Discord better, or if there's anything that you want to do to promote the Discord and make it better, then just go ahead and do that. You don't really need to ask my permission. Like as long as you're not being an asshole, then it's fine, right? Like that's all I really ask, is that everybody kind of just respects everyone. And if you can help, then you can help. That's awesome. Like somebody was helping, like somebody had a problem last night, and then they were being helped by another community member, which was really cool. And I was like already asleep, so I couldn't help out, right? And it's just really cool because like even here, y'all are watching from like all different parts from around the world, and the Discord is kind of the same thing, right? Like different places, different time zones and stuff like that. And it's just like a really cool situation that we have going on. So yeah, feel free to join the Discord, hang out, and help others and stuff like that. So Flo is saying it's quite different. That's true. I had some practical courses with quite some time put in, where I never really met the other students. It feels pretty distant. But actually, I quite like the online courses and exam that gives you the comfort of not having to ride to the university each day, watching lectures whenever I have the time to do so. Oh, that's cool. So you don't actually have to watch the lectures like at a specified time. It's only like it's on demand pretty much, which is, I think, a lot better. Um, I'm aware basic of I'm aware basic of Flutter. What projects should I need to do to reach beginner level? Well, this is actually part of hashtag 30 days of code, or 30 days of Flutter, which is taking way longer than 30 days for me to get all the videos out. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to the playlist that's marked hashtag 30 days of Flutter, then you'll be able to follow along as a beginner. I kind of assume that you don't really have any Flutter knowledge. I assume that you have programming knowledge, but not Flutter knowledge, and you should be able to follow along there. Robert says he's hyped. Yep. Do you know some site to know the best practices to create the UI? I'm actually not a UI person. I generally don't like building out UI. I'm more of a, I don't know, like I'd probably be a really good back end dev. I don't really like doing front end development, like in terms of making stuff look really pretty. But one person that I know that freaking kills it is Meng To, and you can find his website at Design Plus Code, I'm gonna say. He knocks it out of the park, like you've never seen sexier UI in your life. Discord link in the description to help grow the community. Yes. How long have you been programming for? I have been programming since 2014. So like 7 years almost. I pretty much started almost like right before Swift came out. But I've only been in the industry since 2015, or no, 2016. Yeah, I've only been in the industry at like professionally paid since 2016. So about 5 years. Yeah, you could also, Flo said that you could check out the human interface guidelines as well. That's for sure true. Okay, let me try to get some of this in because we need to have an event. So the session navigation bar qubit needs to have, oh no, not events because it's a qubit, but it needs to have a state. And the state is going to be the current, is it just going to be the current thing? The current index? Hold up. Yeah, I think it's just going to be current index. So we actually don't really need a state. And we'll start off here. Look at how small qubits can be. Isn't that so nice? And what we'll do is okay, let's think about that. We have to have a function that shows the feed, show feed, emit 0, right? Void show profile, emit 1. Bam. And just like that, qubit. Boom! Love it. How much time, let's say hours, do you have to spend with Flutter to feel comfortable with it? Let me think back. I mean, I guess it depends on your level of comfort, right? And then everybody learns at a different speed. So, somebody could just spend like, I don't know, 3 hours on it, right? 4 hours on it and start to feel comfortable. It just kind of depends. I think it depends, Robert, like, where are you coming from, right? Like, do you already have programming experience? And what is that programming experience? Is it web or is it mobile? Is it like back end web or like, are you doing something else? Are you working on like hardware and stuff like that, right? So like, I think it does depend, but if let's say that you were coming from like a mobile background and maybe you're doing like maybe native iOS or native Android, then I would say if you've worked with the declarative part of your programming language, like if you've worked with declarative UI before, whether it be Swift UI or Jetpack Compose, right? Or if you've done something like even like with React Native, like with Redux, or if you've done like even web development with like any type of reactive framework, then learning Flutter, you can get to feel comfortable, I would say, within a weekend for sure. I think that you could pick up Flutter in about a weekend if you have programming experience and if you're already familiar with this declarative mindset. So that's kind of my answer, but it does really depend. Let's see. Not native English speaker, ignore bad grammar, and I will watch 30-day playlist. Yeah, don't worry about the It's always so funny that people will like make fun of other people for like having a bad accent or something like that when that person only speaks one language. It's like I couldn't possibly make fun of you because I only speak one language. Like how could I complain about your English whereas I couldn't communicate in any other language? Maybe a little bit of Spanish, but that's very little. um best code in Dart to build UI apps with no logic, not the UI colors or something like that. The best code in Dart. So in Dart, I don't think Mangus covering that, but there's like a number of people that are working on, like the Flutter community is pretty big, and there's like a lot of people that are working on like YouTube channels and stuff like that. So you could definitely get started with UI. I would just say like, search it in. One of the ones that I've seen that people make like really fancy are like the login screens. So you can just search for Flutter login screen and usually they have like a picture of the really pretty ones. So you could just follow those people, and then those people that make the really pretty login screens are probably doing other stuff that are really pretty, and you can start following those people. Javier says, what was the first programming language you learned? The first programming language that I learned that I was actually fluent in was Swift. Before that, I was trying to learn web development, and I couldn't learn JavaScript. I sucked at it. I still suck at it. I hate it, actually, because I suck at it so bad. What's going on, Kenny? Kilo motherfucking loco. Yes. I've been picking up Flutter the last couple of days. Coming from a native background, pretty interesting. Glad you're jumping on board. Hope that you continue to like it. I think it's pretty cool. You know, obviously that's why I'm working with it so much. Let's see. I think you missed the first part of the Discord link in the description message. Oh, did I? Let me see. It's supposed to be like automated. Let me try this again. Let me see if it comes up. It's showing up on come hang out with the rest of the mobile community. Yeah. It's showing up on Twitch properly. And yeah, it looks like it's showing up on YouTube properly. You speak Flutter and Swift. Yeah. I'm a polyglot when it comes to programming languages, but not spoken languages. I also do like Kotlin too. But so it's like Swift first, like Swift is my favorite language. Then it's Dart. Dart is, I love this language actually. And then it would be Kotlin after that. And then it would probably be like Python, and then like maybe like some C++, and then like I don't know what else have I programmed in. I've tried what else did I try? Ruby. Yeah, a little bit of Ruby with building stuff, and then Groovy too. Like there's things that I've played with, but I'm not fluent in those. Thanks for the answer. Yes, I do have experience with programming in Java and JavaScript a little bit, but not much on mobile. Yeah, so I think you'll still be able to pick it up in a weekend if you're familiar with declarative UI. If you're not familiar with declarative UI, then it might take you a little bit longer, like maybe a week. Or maybe like 2 weeks, I would say, because thinking in a declarative way is it's a pretty big jump in my opinion. Block builder, context, and this is going to, oh no, we wanted to do block provider, right? Provider, and then we will be providing the session navigation bar qubit, like so, and then and it takes in an integer for the state, and we initialize this with a create. Am I building this right? I feel like it's been a while since I built this. There we go, context, and this will return our session navigation bar qubit like that. We'll do that, and we actually don't need this because that's a little bit redundant and it's a super long name. All right, so I speak bugs. Hey, it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. Happens to the best of us. Actually got some favorite language. Actually got the same favorite language except Dart. I did not practice yet though. I think when you touch Dart, I think you'll really like it. It's a really cool language. It has a lot of cool features. What is the equivalent of combine in Flutter world? So combine is Combine is an interesting situation, and I was just thinking about this last night because somebody had asked me about it. Combine is an interesting situation because combine is used for streaming data. Like, so you would have data that the benefit for combine is dealing with data over time, right? Publishers and things like that. You could also use it for futures. Now, when it comes to what does Dart and Flutter have that's equivalent, well, it's a language feature that's actually coming to Swift. So if you're familiar with Combine, then you might have heard something about async and await that is going to be coming to Swift in the near future, and that is actually going to be competing with Combine in a sense. But I think they're going to have their places in different areas. And let me explain what I mean by that. So async and await is a way that you can do some type of asynchronous task and you can still get the result back in line, right? So let's take a look at where we have something like that in this project. And let's see. Maybe the data repository might be a little bit better for showing something like this off. Let me see. Everything's just simply returning. It's relatively straightforward. And I'm going to explain this right now, but I just want to try to get the best explanation that I can for you. Where's our auth repository? This is all messed up. Okay, so let me just do it with something simple. If I could find something simple. Yeah, let's find the auth repository. Okay, so I think this is like a perfect example. And if you're not familiar with Dart, like this is like one way that you can kind of see everything. I see a couple people coming in. Sanjay, what's going on? I'm doing really well, thank you. And I don't know, 1987. I see you there. What's up, 1987? Okay, so let's go over like async and await, right? So as you can see here, we have this function, and if this looks kind of weird, that's because I broke it up on 2 lines. Let's just go ahead and make it on 1 line just so that it's a little bit easier to read. So we have this function right here, right? This is the return type, right? This is the name of the function, the parameters, and then this is a special keyword called async, and this is specifying that we're doing some type of asynchronous task within this function, which if you're not familiar with the word asynchronous, then the idea here is that something's going to happen and it's going to take time for it to happen, like a networking request. Let's say that you want to go to google.com, you type in google.com, it goes out to the internet, and then depending on your internet speed, it will come back either fast or slow, right? And then you'll get back the information like the HTML to show google.com, right? So that's what asynchronous means. And then we have this special keyword called await. What can happen, so what we want to do is we want to essentially sign in right here. We're using Amplify to sign in. We're passing in a username and a password, right? Simple, straightforward. And what that does is it gives us a result. So we're awaiting for the result, which this keyword essentially blocks us from moving forward down here until we actually have a value. Now this language feature, we've been waiting for it to come in Swift for quite some time, and it looks like it's actually on the horizon now. So now when we have async and await in Swift, what will happen is you'll be able to do something like this, where this line of code will block out everything from down here from happening until you actually get a result, right? So that's going to be the idea. I haven't looked at async and await on Swift yet, but that's the idea, and this is a pretty similar concept in most languages that support this type of thing. So where does this fit in with combine, right? Well, when you're working with this, it's because you're going to do something kind of simple, and you're essentially only going to be working with a single value. You're working with essentially just a future, like as you'll be able to see, like sign in, it returns a future value right here, future, and you have futures on combine as well, right? But if you wanted to get the value out of a future in combine, then you still have to put it into async and pull that value out, right? Well, what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to get the result out on a single line as opposed to putting it into async, dealing with the completion, dealing with the like whatever the actual result is and things like that, and then you'll get the result here, and then it'll just be like a one-liner, and then you move on to the next line with that actual result that you were interested in, right? So how does this fit in with combine, or like what's going to happen with combine? Well, combine's still going to exist, and I think they're going to exist and there's going to be times when you want to use async and await, and there's going to be times when you want to use combine. And essentially what's going to happen is if you just want a future, that's when you'll use async and await. When you're working with a stream of data, you're expecting data to continuously come in and events to update and things like that. That's when you're going to be working with combine, which is values over time. And you can see that we have our block, right? We did that in our profile block. If I can read right here. So this is how you would essentially do something similar to combine in Flutter or Dart. And this is async with a star. So async with a star means that you're working with a stream of data. So we're going to be dealing with profile states over time. And you can see that we're using the keyword yield as opposed to using the keyword return, because yield means like, let's put a value into that stream, and we're going to be able to receive more values in the future. So I hope that was a comprehensive enough answer for you in regards to, async or combine and how it works with Flutter and like what the equivalent is. Going back up, because Flo had asked a question or had said something, I didn't get to read it. So sorry, what I meant is that I had to split my message in two because YouTube has a 200 character limit, and you missed the first message before Discord link in this. Oh, okay. Do you think Flutter will take over the world of mobile development in the next 5 years? It seems like the guys at Google are trying to get Flutter to a new height. So no, it's not. Like, this will never happen. It just doesn't, right? Like, people were saying 5 years ago that progressive web apps are going to take over the world. It didn't happen, right? There's always going to be a place for native. There's always going to be a place for cross-platform. None of this stuff is going to go away. There's going to be a job market for both. So I think everything's just here to stay, to be honest. All right, doesn't trim remove white spaces from both left and right? What if you pass intentionally has spaces? What if the pass intentionally? Yeah, you shouldn't be putting spaces in your. I don't think you should be putting spaces in your password like at the beginning or end. I mean, this is just like do it however you want, obviously, right? Like you like, I'm not gonna tell you not to do that, right? Like I shouldn't tell you not to do that. You allow whatever you want for your your validation of your characters. I just did it because it makes sense in my head. But like, you're right. Like, what if you want spaces in your password? Then yeah, trim would essentially defeat that. Carla says, how long took you to learn Flutter? So it took me about, I think, about a month of just playing with it. I was playing with it back in August of 2018. But I was able to get up and running extremely easy. Like, it was so easy to get up and running. But like, to actually like get through the comfort zone of working with it, and back then there wasn't like as many resources on that as there are now. So it took me about a month, but I wasn't like taking it serious. I was just playing with it at night whenever I had time. And then yeah, like after about a month, I was really proficient in it, and then I stopped using it for a while. So then I had to like relearn everything when the 30 days of Flutter started hitting. Let's see. Okay, Okay, it looks like it answered, that answered Wilfred's question. And we have sad. I hope you're not sad. Hopefully we can have a happy day, right? Okay. Thanks for all the questions, by the way. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now what we have is the session bar can work with the session qubit, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's testing the keyboard. Okay. Last question before I leave to go skate. Oh, you a skater. Okay. Like skate like roller skates or skateboard? Did you ever read a programming book physically? I have. It's kind of interesting question. I have a couple. So this one, can't really see it. Server side Swift. This one. ARKit. This one. They're all the way down there. All right. Yeah. So I've read a couple of books. But like that's not the way that I learn. So I'm not really good at that. There's probably a couple of other books that I've read before. But like I said, that's not how I learn. I'm a very visual and actually specifically an auditory learner. And like I do much better when I'm able to watch a video or if I'm able to hear something, and that's how I learn. What's going on, Roliandro from Cape Verde? Which book did you love, Wilfred? Oh, I see. Oh, I love to see that you read programming books because that's what I did for many years. Self-taught JavaScript, PHP, and CSS only through books, and my Swift basics also come from books. Yeah, so you sound like you're somebody that has like really good reading comprehension. I have terrible reading comprehension. I could read something and just forgot like what I read. So that's why I don't read books generally. I have books to look clever. I do too. I have way more books than that. Actually, Ray Wenderlich hooked me up with like all kinds of books. They have really great stuff. But I don't really read them. I generally tend to skim them. I just don't, like I said, I don't generally read in general. It's just not how I learn. I'm a really slow reader too. What's your nationality, if you don't mind me asking? So I'm nationality, I guess, technically. Nationality. So obviously American, or whatever you want to call somebody from the States, I think. Yeah, American, right? Technically Canadian, technically Mexican, and Colombian. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. So I'm half black, about a quarter Mexican, quarter Colombian. Yo. All right, so we have provided our block, but now what we need to do is we need to have a child, right? Well, if you're ready for that type of responsibility, I guess you are, right? And let's see. What's the child going to be? It's going to be in a separate function, and this will be a widget. Oh, come on, Kilo. Widget, and what are we going to be doing here? We are going to be returning our, what do I call it? A navigation? No, tab bar. Tab bar. That's what I call it. I don't care if y'all call it bottom navigation bar. Bruh. Tab bar. Like so. Save it, get that refactor. Having this refactor, oh no, I don't like that actually. Having this refactor when you save a file is something that when you get used to it, you get pissed off when it doesn't work in Xcode, or when it doesn't work somewhere else, like in Xcode. Oh my God. When I save something, when I do something like this in Xcode, just one long line, and then I hit Command S, nothing happens. When I do it here, something happens. I love that. The thing with books is it takes time to get the specific thing you care about, and they get outdated basically after 1 to 2 years with fast evolving languages like Swift. Yeah, that's totally true. And Flow's about to take off, so thanks again, Flo. Thanks for chilling with us. Really appreciate your support. With how fast tech moves, even videos get outdated fast. Yeah, actually, I was my videos on Jetpack Compose are like already outdated, and those were just done like. So I think I even had one that was done this year that's already outdated. Bro, do you have clean architecture tutorial on iOS? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't necessarily focus too much on like other architectures. I just feel like it's just one more thing that's keeping you from not actually building a product. Do you know if it's possible to have this break line shortcut in Xcode? Even though it's not built in? I doubt it. There's like, Xcode is so limited in the things that you can actually do. Really don't like it. Well, okay. Swift formatter. Never heard of that one. I've heard of Swift lint, where you're kind of forced to do that, but I've never heard of Swift formatter, so that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Flo. But I would be surprised if it does it like in real time, like, because even Swift lint isn't like real time, right? Or is it? No, it's not. It's like you have to build it, and then it runs a script, and then it tells you the problems after the fact. So that's really interesting. I'll have to look into Swift formatter as well. Navigator. Let's see. Bottom bar. No. Bottom navigation bar. That's what it was. Oakley dokley. All right. So now, what we can do is, we actually need to, let's go ahead and return our block builder. Oh, I wonder if this is going to give us problems because it's not going to be the right size. We'll see. Context, state. Ooh. Okay, since we're here, this is going to be a session navigation bar qubit, like so, then an int like so, and state like that, like that, like that. Actually, if we do this, then we can do it down here like that and that. There we go. Let's see. Anyways, out now. See ya. All right. Later, Flo. Thanks Thanks, Flo. Have a good skating session with Tony Hawk. You know that people don't even know who Tony Hawk is anymore? It's crazy. Why you stopped hashtag 30 days of Flutter? I didn't. I'm actually working on it right now. The problem is that a lot of this stuff I don't even know. The stuff that I'm teaching you, I don't know it before I actually create the video. And I have to go through the process of building out the prototypes before I can teach you. So I did put out a video like 2 days ago. So make sure you check that one out. I also recorded another video last night, which I'm going to actually edit after this stream. So yes. But I did not stop. I know that it seems like I stopped because I'm just taking so long to finish it, but it's quite a bit of work. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. All right, so now if we have the state, set to 0, then that's when we're going to show our feed view. So let's just go ahead and do a scaffold. And this will have a body with text that's just says, feed. Oh, hold on. Feed. Wow. What's going on here? Like that. Unless you don't like regular widgets, in which case I have to do something different. So what is items exactly? Bottom navigation bar item. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Bottom navigation bar item, like so. Icon. Okay. Let's go ahead and do icon. And icons dot feed. Let's see. Let's do news. Let's do post. Let's do gallery. Album. Library. We're getting a little bit closer. Maybe something like this. Sure, why not? Okay. Now you should have some type of child, right? No? No child? Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so we have the icon, the title, the native, the what? The label, the active icon. So then how the heck do we show this specific view? Okay, handle navigation. Add child widgets. So placeholder widget. Color. Okay, let's just get a show color. And list of widgets. Okay, so let's see. What we want to do is we want to have a list of the widgets, and that's in the home state. But where's the actual navigation bar? I'm wondering if, yeah, okay. I think that we just put them in a different list, right? So what we can do, let's see. So that gives us the index, and then we would also have the actual widget. But where does the actual widget show though? right? So you have this list widget, and I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Items. Oh, okay. This line right here. Okay. Yep. Got it. So let me think. So what would you think about where should we put this? The state should be responsible for hmm. I mean, we're selecting the index, and then should our state also have well, let's just go ahead and let's just code something up and let's see what happens, right? So our state can also have or our qubit can provide us no. Huh. So then what we would actually need to do is we would need to create a new class called session navigation. How do y'all go about doing something new, right? Like, so I usually just end up coding stuff. I just start typing. And then when I start typing, it's just like I'll figure it out as I go. But I think that's like kind of not necessarily best practice, especially when you're interviewing. And yeah, like I like to just start writing stuff down and see what happens. I don't know. It's probably a bad way to do it. I should probably think more about this stuff, but all thinking and not doing is worse than maybe just typing stuff out and seeing what happens, in my opinion. All right, so then we have the index, current index, right? So yeah, so then this would be final int current index. All right. And we will create a constructor, navigation bar state, this dot current index, like so. And actually, let's go ahead and do it like, we'll give it a default value of 0, right? So we'll do int current index is equal to 0. Then we just need to do like this dot current index is equal to current index, like that. Now what we can do is we can have a should the state have a widget or not? The state should not have a widget. The state should not have a widget. It should not. It should not. No. This is not correct. So then that would mean that if the state does not have a widget, then we should have the views right here. So then we'll just have a list of widgets and Yeah, I think this is the ideal way. So then we have our widgets, and first we want to have, let's go ahead and create a new file called feed view, like that. Class feed view extends stateless this widget, right? And we need to have our build method like so. And I think we could leave it as unimplemented for right now, right? Like that should be fine. Would y'all leave it unimplemented, or should we just build out something? What would you do? I'll leave it like that for right now, and then we could just get this going, right? I think that might be the better way. So feed view like so. Bam. Ooh, love it. Profile view. Oh, yes. So now, I like to return an empty container. That's the correct way. That's the way to do it. You're right. Because then it won't blow up when I forget, right? Thanks for that, Jesse. Container. Yeah, it was either choose to remember it later, and when you don't, just let it blow up in your face, or handle it now with an empty container. That's the right way. All right, we have the items. Sometimes to spice it up, I give it a container color. I love it. Okay, let's do it. We have, you know what color we have to do, right? We have to do purple. It has to be purple. My favorite color, in case you couldn't tell. Actually, I usually use red. That's like I think that's everybody's debug color. Isn't that so weird? Like, I don't even think that I picked that up anywhere, but I feel like everybody defaults to red from what I've seen online. I don't know. If state is equal to 1, then what we will do is we'll show that bottom navigation bar, and the item couldn't have guessed the color. Yeah, I mean, it might be hard to tell, you know. Let's see. Got the code passionately, got this. What else? I think even on like Twitch and on Twitch it's purple. There's still, yeah, purple's my favorite color, always has been. What's going on, Supra? What is going on? How's your Monday going? Because mine started off with, well, I was about an hour and a half late to this stream, so that's how mine's going. It's a good choice. You know what's always, so this is something that I've always wondered. Like, everybody sees, like assuming that you're not colorblind, right? And and most people do have a favorite color. What if everybody's favorite color is the same color in their eyes? Now, I think that there is probably science that says that no, that's not how that works. But I always wondered, like, what's to stop everybody from seeing, like, my favorite color is purple, this, right? But, like, what if what I perceive to be what purple is what you see as purple, and then that's, like, what your favorite color is, but, like, it's called green to everybody else, right? So, like, that's, I don't know. It's something that's just always, I don't know. I don't know. It's just always been in my head. All right. No, I want this indented. Thank you. Thank you. System outprint line Java. Cricket? What are you talking about Java in here, though? Why Snock? What's going on, Why Snock? What's language is better for initiates? What's a good first language? I think that's what you're looking for. What's a good first language? Python. Python's a pretty good language to learn. But I always recommend that people learn Swift. It's the most like so if you're familiar and comfortable with reading English, which I think most programming languages are just geared towards the English language anyways. But if you're comfortable with like reading English, then Swift is a really great language because it reads like English. Like you can write code that looks like it's English, and it has a lot of like I love the fact that it has type safety and things like that. So I think that's really beneficial for beginners. I also think that with Swift, like, and this is assuming that you can be running on a Mac, right? Like the reason why I say learn Swift first is because I feel like it's a good easy first language that is very verbose and can do a lot of things. And if you can mix that with iOS development is hands down the easiest platform to get up and running and learn development on, because you literally install Xcode and then you're done, as opposed to doing something like Flutter where you have to go find Flutter, you have to find an IDE which supports it or a text editor, then you have to choose between, VS Code or Android Studio, and then you have to have stuff set up and all kinds of stuff. Like anything that takes you to the terminal is just not a good experience for somebody new. So the fact that you don't have to go to the terminal when you're getting set up with iOS development, I feel is like what makes it the easiest thing to learn. You're a Java programmer. It's time to switch over to Kotlin. Just joking. Do what you do. All right. So we got the tab bar. Python is good. I can program only with smartphone. I don't have PC. Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, that's a really interesting use case. I've never really thought about that, like not having a computer at all. Assuming that you can run, I'm sure that you can. Assuming that you can run Python on your phone, like if you could get some type of editor where maybe you have access to the internet, like there's some type of online like playground or sandbox where you can run Python code or something like that. I think that Python would actually be a great language if you only have a phone. It would probably be the best language if you actually only have a phone. I think that's a really good choice. I never thought about that situation. I might have to try that out myself. You only have a phone. You only have a smartphone. What should you learn? That's really interesting. Programming by app PyDroid 3. That's super, super duper interesting. Wow. Okay. I've never thought about that. I can legitimately say, like, I've never thought about that. So if you only have access to a phone, what should you learn? And I think that Python is the right way to go, because you don't want to deal with type safety when you're on the phone. You want to keep your code extremely small. Python is probably like some of the least amount of code that you have to write in order to get something running. So yeah, I would highly recommend learning Python. Supra, because of you, I'm going to find out what the heck PyDroid 3 is, and I'm going to download it, or I'm going to get it myself, and I'm going to start doing some Python on the phone, and I might even make a tutorial out of it. That's, like I said, I never thought about that. Also, Supra, in case you haven't heard, let's see, where is it? All right. It's a cheap computer. If you ever want a computer, hold on. Let me change it up. Let me change it up for you. This is called a Raspberry Pi. It's a little computer. Now this one is a little bit more expensive. It's $35 US. Or something like that. And then you also need like wires and stuff like that. But you can get a Raspberry Pi for cheaper than that. And yeah, like I would highly recommend that if you wanna have a computer or something like that, then check out a Raspberry Pi, and you can also do programming on that. And it might be more affordable than like, you know, like a laptop, or obviously like an Apple computer. Like Apple computers are just ridiculously expensive. So feel free to check that out. But yes, I'm gonna definitely check out PyDroid 3. Alwyn Edgar says, "Thank you for your knowledge sharing. Keep up the good work." Hey, I'm happy that you are enjoying it. I'm happy that I could help. Always like helping y'all. And yeah, where are you from? USA? Yes, I am from the US. So that's where I'm from, like the LA or Los Angeles type area. That's kind of where I'm at. What program do you use to stream showing the code behind you? This is OBS, and I have this green screen. Let's see. Y'all want to see it? Let's see. Look at that. There's a room back there. That looks weird. But yeah. Isn't that weird? It looks so weird. All right. So I'm going to stop it right there. I have to run to a meeting. But what I'm going to do... what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Discord link in the chat, and feel free to join the Discord. Yeah, the stream is lagging. I'm about to take off. It's because I had set it to 60 frames per second on accident. I was messing with some stuff last week, and I need to switch it back to 30. So the next stream will be a little bit smoother. I'm sorry for that. But if you're not following, please follow, subscribe, whatever it is. And then also check out the Discord server, because you know, you can feel free to answer or ask me questions there. Come hang out. And also, if you you know, if you can help others, then that's like a great place to do it. It's for mobile developers. But yeah. All right, I'm going to take off. Thank you all for your time. Go out there, keep coding passionately.